Hey guys, this is going to be a video about pet store geckos and breeding them. This is Peach. I actually got him from a PetSmart, so not the best pet store, but he was my first gecko, and when I got him, he was actually only 9 grams, and he was sick, and dropped to about 5 grams in about a week. And I got him back up to weight, and he's nice and healthy now, and he actually turned out to be really gorgeous. I only have a few things to say about pet store geckos. I know that there's a lot of people saying that you shouldn't breed pet store geckos and they're not good geckos, but they really are. As long as you test breed them and figure out if they have any recessive genes and make sure that they are completely healthy, then you can breed them. But you should always let the person know that buys their babies that it is a pet store gecko and that there is possible uncertainty. So with this guy, I am planning to breed him. He will be bred to a tangerine, and she has no hets, so and I'm not really thinking he will, but I will be breeding him to test for any hets before the tangerine breeding. There are a few people that are trying to sell geckos that are pet store geckos, and they try to sell them off as quality breeder animals, and I don't really approve of that. I've had a few people ask me to buy their geckos that are obviously pet store geckos, and they obviously don't know what's going on with that gecko. And most of the time you gotta be really careful with that if the breeder isn't well known or if they don't have high-end animals. I'm not saying anything is wrong with pet store geckos, but you know, it's always better to go through a really big breeder, or at least someone that's like well known. I almost forgot an important part of my video, and I'm gonna finish it up with Joker. There was an important part that I left out, and it's about the fact that not everyone should breed geckos. Just because you have one, and it doesn't matter if it's from a pet store or from a high-end breeder, some people feel that they should breed and that it'd be cool, but it's a little bit more than that. It's very expensive. There's a lot of work to it, and just it's not right for everybody. Some people don't know very much about genetics that come with leopard geckos and will feel that it's super easy when it's really not, and they'll do something wrong or just not research it enough, and they'll sell babies that aren't completely 100% correct, I guess, in their morph and whatever their recessive genes are. And it's kind of annoying to see people trying to sell a gecko that's not really what it is. And I also really don't like when people buy a pet store gecko and claim that it is something that it's not. Like, most pet stores, like a PetSmart or a Petco, they're not going to have 2 of the 3 albino strains. They usually have Trempers because the reptiles are actually bred in a big like warehouse type thing. So it's not like they have really high-end morphs. It's just the basic like normals and like hypos and Trempers. So when there's an albino bought from a Petco or a PetSmart, I don't really like to see people claiming it as a rainwater or a bell, because it's generally not. And when people get a normal and claim that it's a Mac Snow or that it has a recessive gene, because there's no way for you to know that if it's from a pet store, unless it's a really good pet store that knows what they're doing. And Petco and PetSmart are generally not that pet store. You can't always trust everything that you hear about a gecko, or like from a breeder that's not really a high-end breeder. Like, my favorite people to go through to get a gecko that I know is what it is David's Fine Geckos. He's a really nice guy. I like talking to him. He's really helpful. My friend Darling Geckos, she's awesome. Constellation Crested Geckos. Crested Geckos are a different story, but she's one of my favorite people too. Ron Tremper, obviously, because he's like the main guy. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. And then my last one that I really like is probably Gulf Coast Geckos. And the only reason I don't really like Sasabik, or however you say it, is because he's not very nice. He is really into business, and he doesn't really take time to get to know his customers and figure out exactly what they need. But yeah, I mean, other than that, he'd probably be good to go through for breeder quality animals, but not like a pet animal just for like a family, because I mean, he's not as helpful. But other than that, I don't mean to be rude, because he's a cool guy. But yeah. Nope, I'm losing Joker. Alright, that's pretty much the end of this video. And, I mean, in the comments, leave suggestions for next videos. I'll make videos for whatever you guys want. Alright, thanks. Bye.